What's up, guys? It's Spencer with Lehi, bringing you your Tuesday Newsday, where we tell you all that's new and cool in the world of Magic the Gathering. Modern Horizons 3 is right around the corner, and it looks like it's going to be among the most absurd MTG sets we've ever seen. Here's 3 reasons why Modern Horizons 3 should be on your radar. Number 1. Powerful redesigns. The set pays homage to some familiar classics, but with a modern twist. Here's one of my favorite examples. Power Balance. Power Balance is a new enchantment for red and a red, which reads, whenever an opponent casts a spell, you may reveal the top card of your library. If you do, you may cast that card without paying its mana cost if the 2 spells have the same mana value. Obviously, the spell is very derivative of the old school Counterbalance originally printed in Cold Snap. Counterbalance reads, blue for an enchantment. Whenever an opponent plays a spell, you may reveal the top card of your library. If you do, counter that spell if it has the same converted mana cost as the revealed card. Cards like Power Balance are perfect examples of Magic's design team taking inspiration from older cards and adapting them to give us new, playable cards for a variety of different decks. And speaking of power, that brings us to the number 2 reason why Modern Horizons 3 should be on your radar: Eldrazi. The Eldrazi are back and better than ever. New cast triggers that include gaining control of all creatures an opponent controls, exiling half an opponent's library, and manifesting cards from your opponent's hands will ensure that your foes lose all hope of sanity. And it wouldn't be a proper comeback for Eldrazi if they didn't give us 3 new versions of the original Titans. And this time, they spoiled us. First up is Emrakul the World Anew. 12 mana for a legendary creature Eldrazi 12/12. When you cast this spell, gain control of all creatures target player controls, flying, protection from spells and from permanents that were cast this turn, and when Emrakul the World Anew leaves the battlefield, sacrifice all creatures you control. As if that wasn't good enough, they stapled on an alternate casting cost, Madness for 6 colorless mana. Next up is Ulamog the Defiler. 10 mana for a legendary creature Eldrazi 7/7. When you cast this spell, target opponent exiles half their library rounded up. Ward, sacrifice 2 permanents. Ulamog the Defiler enters the battlefield with a number of +1/+1 counters on it equal to the greatest mana value among cards in exile, and Ulamog has Annihilator X, where X is the number of +1/+1 counters on it. Last up is Kozilek the Broken Reality. 9 mana for a legendary creature Eldrazi 9/9. When you cast this spell, up to 2 target players each manifest 2 cards from their hands. For each card manifested this way, you draw a card. Other colorless creatures you control get +3/+2. Eldrazi are the example of what happens when Timmies are put in charge of creature design, and I mean that in the best way. When mana value isn't an issue, the card's abilities can be just as powerful as the Titans themselves. Which brings us to our number 3 reason why Modern Horizons 3 should be on your radar. Flipwalkers are back. What's better than a Planeswalker? How about a Planeswalker for 1 mana? All the new Flipwalkers have crazy low mana value and super useful effects, but Grist is my favorite. Grist Voracious Larva is a 1 green mana 1/2 legendary creature insect. It reads, Death Touch. When Grist Voracious Larva or another creature enters the battlefield under your control, if it entered from your graveyard or you cast it from your graveyard, you may pay 1 green mana. If you do, exile Grist and return it to the battlefield, transform under its owner's control. Then transforms into Grist the Plague Swarm, a legendary planeswalker with 3 starting loyalty. Its abilities read, +1, create a 1/1 black and green insect creature token, then mill 2 cards. Put a Death Touch counter on the token if a black card was milled this way. -2, destroy target artifact or enchantment. And -6, for each creature card in your graveyard, create a token that's a copy of it, except it's a 1/1 black and green insect. Grist Voracious Larva does what all black-green decks want their cards to do. Destroy creatures, fill the graveyard, and get value. All 5 of the new Flipwalkers from Modern Horizons 3 share a low converted mana cost, meaning that these cards are going to see a lot of play in a lot of different types of decks. From Flipwalkers to Eldrazi to new powerful redesigns, Modern Horizons 3 is shaping up to be one of the most powerful sets we've ever seen. But what's your favorite card from Modern Horizons 3? Comment down below and let me know what you think. Don't forget to check out gglehi.com to grab your MH3 pre-orders and all your nerdy necessities before they sell out. I'm Spencer with Lehi, and I'll see you next week for the Tuesday Newsday, where we tell you all that's new and cool in the world of Magic the Gathering.